geniuses Glenn Beck and Phil Robertson of Duck Dynasty discussed what's most important to them in a politician. This is Rich.
So I'm going to tell you what you've never heard and I've never heard from any politician since I've been on this earth. I love God and I love you. I'm just waiting on those two lines for the guys and gals we elect. I would just love for at some point someone stand there and say, you know what? You elected me. I appreciate it. I want you to know that I love God and I love you, and I am responsible to Him, one, and to you, second, and I will make every effort to remain a spiritual, holy person while I'm in Washington, D.C., and make political decisions based on my faith in God. Everything will be vetted through His Word.
I will tell you that I stood in a top of a hotel across from the White House about 5 or 6 years ago, and my wife and I looked down at the White House, and I said to her, when was the last time somebody who was truly, truly humble got down on bended knee in that Oval Office every single day and said, please, dear God, help me, help us. How do I serve? How do we become a servant? Yeah.
That's your bar for a good president? That's what you want the president to do? Get down and pray as Putin goes into Ukraine, Syria continues to fight, ISIS takes over the Middle East, the healthcare system is falling apart, the economy is probably going to do the same soon, worse than the recession in 2008 because we have massive deregulation and record income inequality and you name it. That's what you want the president to do? Wish on a star. Talk to Tinkerbell. No, we are speaking different languages with the conservatives. They're not having the same conversation with us. They're not in the same town as us, the same city as us, the same zip code as us, the same state as us, the same country as us. That's how they value a president. Well, if he just does some preaching and speaking, tell me you love me, tell God you love Him more. That's what you got to do right there. That's what I say. I just want the president to get down on one knee in the White House. Well, Bill had Monica get down on 2 knees. Does that count? I prefer that kind of a president. That president is busy. Did you know there were stories of Clinton talking on the phone to congressmen as Monica was blowing him? Now, the extramarital affair was fucked up for Hillary and for his family life and for his personal life and stuff like that. But the dude was working. He was so busy he had to go outside and just, you, come here, blow me. By the way, I 100% stole that joke from Dave Chappelle. But that's actually what he did. He's like, I need something with a wig on around me or something. I don't care. It could be he, she, we, she. It could be a horse. I don't give a fuck. Just blow me. I feel like that's a mediocre Clinton impression. Is it? I'll leave it up to you guys. But look at what they said. I love God and I love you. That's what I want a politician to say. Okay, Republicans say that. And then, by the way, they only vote in favor of what Merrill Lynch wants. All they care about is the big banks and the Wall Street firms and ExxonMobil and Chevron and BP and Walmart and corporate welfare. So they might say they love you and love God, but they're fucking you behind the back. But Phil Robertson doesn't even acknowledge that the Republicans say what he wants them to say. And then put God first and me second. That's dangerous, man. That's dangerous. You're saying I would prefer a president who doesn't listen to the people, so who doesn't abide by the principles of democracy. I would rather have somebody that goes with God over the people. Yeah, where else do they do that? Who else does that? I believe it's the Taliban, among many others. The Saudi Arabian government, the Iranian government. I mean, if you really want that kind of a system, they have places where that exists. Make political decisions based on God, based on religion. Well, that would be gross, no matter what religion you pick. Because look, I mean, if you go literally by the Bible, yeah, Jesus has plenty of beautiful things he's in favor of, like redistribution of wealth and taxing the rich and not fighting wars. He's a pacifist. I'm not even that liberal. I'm a non-interventionist, not a pacifist. So, yeah, he has those good ideas, but that's not what Phil Robertson means. Phil Robertson loves war, loves the rich. He is rich. And what does he mean? Gays, stop the abortion. But if you actually followed all the social shit in the Bible, okay, we have to ban the fish market. No more shrimp, no more crab, no more shellfish, no more anything. We have to make women sleep under a tent outside when they have their period, because that's in the Bible. Sorry, you're not allowed to touch your wife when she's on her period in any way. We have to kill people if they work on Sunday. I mean, the list of absurd laws in the Bible, which at the time maybe made sense. Maybe people ate shellfish and then they died, and then they said, it's a rule, don't eat shellfish. But today, that makes no fucking sense. But if you actually followed it, if we actually had a government that followed the Bible, it would be the weirdest, strangest, craziest, most repressive, most backward society imaginable, except the only beautiful thing would be universal health care and no war. Unless you go with the Old Testament, then the war would be everywhere. You can't even follow the Bible, you see? Because it's so contradictory. So what does Phil Robertson really mean? Follow my interpretation of my religion. Or no. Or we can go by the democratic will of the majority, and you can sit outside.